Hey there, what is going on? Welcome on back to the Deeper Dive. It is your host, Luke, and today we are going to talk about the crypto market as a whole, as well as why I am so bullish on IXS Finance. To be clear, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Any risk you take on is your own risk. But with that being said, let's get into why I am so bullish on the crypto market as a whole. Throughout the past 5 months, we have seen some tremendous downside in Bitcoin and in altcoins. Although, since then, we have seen Bitcoin reclaim all-time highs at over 100 grand. As well, we have seen significant developments in regulations. The masses in crypto, the retail sector, is often misled and are told that this space is not going anywhere, when quite honestly, everything else in terms of institutions and adoption says otherwise. So there is this ongoing question of, is this space going to live? And the answer is absolutely 100% without a doubt, yes. There is real utility for many of these tokens and platforms and companies offering real value to institutions, and that is where the big gains are going to be made. Even on the retail front, there's a lot of money to be made. So considering those factors, yes, this space is here to stay, and yes, we are due for an alt season rather soon here. My prediction is June to December. So for the overall crypto market, yes, I'm bullish. Yes, I think this space is here to stay. And yes, we are going to see an alt season. It has taken longer than it ever has for us to see that alt season. And I think that is due to the fact that regulations are pending. Many have lost vision, and many have missed the fact that throughout the last 5 years, significant building was happening. And all of that building is going to lead to a big boom. And I believe that is going to be this year. I'm 98% confident in what I just said. And because of that, my objective is to find these low-priced, very valuable tokens that just aren't matched in terms of USD yet. But they will be revalued when this alt season comes. They will have new higher lows in the next bear market, and these prices will be gone. I believe that IXS is going to be one of those tokens. I am on the IXS site, and getting into why I'm so bullish on them, we can start off with their most recent product, which is Bitcoin Real Yield, which, as they say, is powered by regulated infrastructure and targeted towards institutions. Why is this such a valuable product? Bitcoin Real Yield, their product, offers 4 to 10% APY in USD without selling Bitcoin or taking any DeFi risk. So that right there alone creates immense value for institutions who are already holding Bitcoin. And as we know, many institutions are already holding Bitcoin. So why wouldn't they want to earn another 4 to 10% on that Bitcoin? That is the question. And quite honestly, I don't have an answer for you. I see nothing but value being proposed here, and I think that this product alone is going to drive a bunch of adoption. If I'm not mistaken, IXS are the first ones offering this product in a regulated landscape. So that is a very valuable thing to note. Now let's get into this post from the IXS CEO. He says, "Everyone please watch at Sailor Talk," and Julian calls him a legend and then goes on to say he's sure it's recorded somewhere. Bitcoin's going to explode and IXS is going to ride with it. He says it's absolutely incredible what is happening in the USA and on Wall Street related to Bitcoin and digital assets, RWA. And he goes on to say that he has never been more excited to build IXS. And then this is the kicker. Several large players now want us to offer Bitcoin Real Yield to their users, and the user base is enormous. Stay focused, crew. We are just beginning. And I absolutely believe what he is saying here, that they have an enormous user base that is likely to be adopting Bitcoin Real Yield. Now with that, there has been no word yet of how IXS, the token, is going to derive utility from Bitcoin Real Yield. But we do know it is on the way. From IXS Finance on X, we can see that they said, IXS token utility just leveled up. The team will also unveil the next evolution of IXS's utility tied to the Bitcoin real yield product. And their CEO, Julian, goes on to say, quote unquote, this is probably the best move we've made. Now, at a base level, the Bitcoin real yield product is an amazing move in itself, bringing lots of attention to IXS on an institutional level. If the IXS token is deriving utility from Bitcoin real yield, with institutional players having interest as well as wanting to onboard their user base, IXS is going to have immense value in the long term. Even in the short term, this can create quite a lot of hype as well as adoption, real adoption, that can derive demand for the token. So for these few reasons alone, I am very bullish on IXS. But now we can get into the rest of it. Looking at the chart, this is just one perspective. In technical analysis, things do change, but from the current outlook, we can almost see a massive inverse head and shoulders playing out here. With the market cap sitting only at 28 million, this token is in extreme discount. So in terms of technical analysis, I'm bullish. In terms of Bitcoin real yield, I'm bullish. And even sharing this scenario about Bitcoin real yield, you can start to imagine the possibilities that can come from Bitcoin real yield. I'll read this off to you guys. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on X at LukeTDD, as I am constantly posting on there, and then my YouTube updates come a little bit later on. Getting into what I said, here is one playbook that institutions could follow in this Bitcoin real yield product. Considering they already hold Bitcoin, they can offer their Bitcoin to IXS as collateral within their network. Then said institutions can earn 4 to 10% on that Bitcoin in stablecoins. They could then commit to reinvesting a fixed percentage of their yield into purchasing IXS tokens. Let me also mention the tokenomics, being that there is 180 million total supply, with all of them circulating, with over 400,000 tokens already burned through fees and transactions. So, considering the good tokenomics, institutions could have interest in buying the token not only for the long term, but in the sense that they could commit to reinvesting a fixed percentage, let's say 20% of their yield earned from Bitcoin, into purchasing IXS as a store of value. Then IXS could be staked. In return, they can earn real world assets. So not only will these institutions be earning 4 to 10% on their Bitcoin, but they can then be earning even more on IXS through gaining RWAs through IXS's staking platform. And the outcome of this is they maintain their Bitcoin exposure, they earn yield from offering Bitcoin, they accumulate IXS, and they gain additional tokenized RWAs yield through staking. As I say, this creates a compounding wealth building cycle within a regulatory framework. And I think this is an absolute gem of a play from IXS, especially considering their tokenomics. Now we can touch on some background and fundamentals. I shared this post in a recent video, but I can share it again. IXS has an investor, Spice VC. Carlos Domingo is the managing partner at Spice VC and founder of Spice VC. He is also founder and CEO of Securitize. And as I am saying, Spice is invested in IXS. He is founder of Securitize and founder of Spice. What is IXS doing? They are creating a middleman platform, a Uniswap for real world assets. So that is extremely bullish in itself. But now we can also look at this. I say, are you ready for what's next in crypto? The last few months have been huge, and this is the truth. These two photos share a game-changing story. Paul Atkins, previously Securitize advisory board member, is now SEC chairman as of April 21st, 2025, within the last 2 months. So, considering these ties between Securitize, Carlos Domingo, and IXS, we can think about the regulatory landscape in the United States. Who is better positioned to put Julian Kwan on with the current chairman of the SEC than Carlos Domingos? Keep in mind, Julian Kwan is the CEO of IXS. Carlos Domingo is the CEO and founder at Securitize, with his VC invested in IXS. Who is SEC chair? Paul Atkins previously worked at Securitize. I guarantee you Carlos Domingo has Paul Atkins' phone number. I guarantee you he could easily put Julian Kwan and Paul Atkins on a line together on the phone. So considering those things, considering the position that Paul Atkins has taken as a pro digital asset leader, this could absolutely unlock massive US growth for IXS Finance in RWAs, as well as their product with Bitcoin Real Yield. Considering those factors alone, I am extremely bullish, and that is not even the end of this video. Drop a comment and drop a like down below if you enjoy this content and you are bullish as well. I think that this space needs to be shared and that we need to share this content. If you think this is good content, please do send this to some friends and family. Try to help them understand what is going on here, because I do believe that we are extremely early to something that is going to be massive, truly massive. Even taking a look at how many followers Securitize has, they only have 55.2K. And keep in mind that they are partnered with BlackRock, Hamilton Lane, KKR, and many others, these big names. I genuinely believe in terms of RWAs in the United States, Securitize is one of the leaders. So their follower count speaks measures for how early we are. And I went on to say in this post, learn about IXS Finance, a real RWA utility token, IXS. Why do I say a real RWA utility token? Currently in the market, not to name any names, there are some players that are focused on RWAs that have a token, but its utility is no comparison to IXS. IXS is building the layer that everyone needs and that everyone wants. And I think anyone who looks deep enough into IXS is going to realize that they are going to be very valuable. With that being said, do your own research. Don't follow me blindly, but yes, this is all amazing content in my opinion and very worth knowing. Even looking at this post that I found on LinkedIn, we had Lisa Wade, co-chair of DECA, the Digital Economy Council of Australia, saying 1 year ago, quote unquote, watch this space. They know what is coming better than anyone else, and I would not fade that. Here we can see DECA's site, and if you'd like to check that out for yourself, it's deca.org.au. Considering everything shared in this video, I'm very bullish on the overall crypto market, as well as IXS specifically. I am still bullish on Velo and holding my bag, but I think that IXS is in a very advantageous position considering its cheap market cap and the fact that it just does not have the exposure that it deserves yet, but the exposure is most definitely on the way, especially with these institutions that have large interests that also have enormous user bases that they want to adopt their products. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please do make sure to follow me on X at LukeTDD, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know what you think about any of this down below. Are you holding IXS? What do you think about their Bitcoin Real Yield product? I am excited to hear back from you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's been a little while since my most recent video. Things have been going on, things have been crazy, but we are here, we are standing strong, and we are still paying attention, and that is what matters. Most people aren't even focused on this space currently, but I do believe that it is going to boom. As I said, if you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.